If you've been like me, who've been stumped and just can't seem to figure out how to get that spinner, playing the spinner games and the trackball to play the trackball games, then you're in the right place, because I think I actually figured it out. So stay tuned, and hopefully I can go through the steps so you can understand. Right, let's try and explain what I'm trying to achieve for you guys, because my heading is slightly misleading, because it talks about setting up the snake spinner and stuff. So it's not really setting up, but because the setting up part is having your correct ROM that actually would be able to play for the spinner in one environment, and then a correct ROM for a second environment with an emulator, and then able to play the trackball. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be trying to do. Wait, one last thing. We still need to have the right setup for the RetroArch. So you need to be able to set up your hotkey, so you can get into the RetroArch interface while you are playing one of the games, and then you need to then configure the correct USB device to each of the different ROM sets. Here we have arcade, which is one environment, and then we have MAME, which is the second environment. In my arcade, you'll see that I have a lot of different games all sort of lined up there. So I have to go back out. I went and separated all my collections, also my spinners, so where I can go in, I can see all my games is my spinners. You can see that the folder next to it is labeled arcade, so that means it's in this arcade folder, which I put out in here. So in my MAME, so this will be my MAME where I only have things for my trackball. So the bowlers, Marble Madness, and so. So you get a better understanding of the structure of what we're trying to do, is that we need to go to this document, and we need to go into these arcade, and we look at the MAME, and if we go down here you'll see emulators. So there is a bunch here, which these are the ROM folders. I will be focusing on arcade and the MAME emulator, the Retropie, because they seem to be able to run most of the emulators on the side. But the one we'll be mostly focusing on 2003. This is all the ROM version, and then those would actually work with the emulators. So this 0.78 works with the LRM MAME 2003 with the arcade or the MAME Liberator, which goes with this set, which I'm going to be focusing on. I did a search. I did a MAME 0% ROM set, and then I found this link. I'm not sure what I should be telling anyone on this, but and then we go to click these buttons, and then this will be the folder that we'll be needing to unzip. Then once we've unzipped it, we can go into the ROM, and we can see that here's all the games that we are going to load up onto the machine. But it looks like there is no Tetris or Arkanoid or maybe even Missile Command. So we need to go and find another ROM set to see can we get them, because those are the ones with the trackball and the spinner games. So I did another search. I did it for the Plus system this time, and I go and see that I can download the whole lot. I can actually go, which I did not realize, you can show all the files and then go into the ROM folder, and we can go and find Arkanoid, for example. Arkanoid, that one. Then we take those files and we put them onto the Raspberry Pi. Spinner, Arkanoid is Spinner, so that's in the arcade folder. Okay, so we have, this is the Arkanoid I've loaded up in there. So let's go and find that downloaded one and replace it. Just to be safe, I'll change the name of this and go like that. Okay, that goes into the arcade, or the Arkanoid. Let's go to the machine and have a quick test. Alright, let's reboot the machine after we've added a new ROM. We're going to go to Arkanoid in the arcade. Arkanoid, so that's the new ROM we put in. It's playing at 2003, the main, not the plus which we had downloaded from. It seems to work fine. Let's try the controller. So for me it looks like it's working, but if it hasn't worked for you yet, don't be discouraged, but continue watching. But let's set up the trackball games. We're looking for now, say, missile command. Missile. Right, so they have missile command. This is for the trackball. So we will download these two. And then we have those two downloads. Now, in our Raspberry Pi, let's go to Pi, ROM. Instead of arcade, we're going to go to the MAME Libra. So we have both our ROMs, and I'll just put them both in here, and I'll replace my existing one. And then we'll go to the computer and, no, we'll go to the arcade machine and we'll launch them and see how they go. And let's restart the emulator after loading those two missile ROMs. Go to the MAME Libra or Liberator. So we have missile command, the first one and the second one. Let's try the second one. Using the 2003. That seems to load up nicely. Let's have a look if the trackball works. Yeah, which works fine. So this MAME Libra 2003, not all the games are actually playing at the 2003 MAME. So you'll see here, this one is playing at 2010. If I don't have 2010, it seems I just crashed the machine and I can't even hotkey exit out of it. So that's the bowling game. Exit. My golden T. Also it doesn't. It displays the 2003 Plus version. So come out of that. Don't worry about this version because this needs the other one to load. So it actually doesn't really work. So this game would be actually under 2003. the Marble Madness 2. And let's go and try mini golf and see what that's on. And see will it load up on 2003 only. That loads up well. Or is it? There we go. Okay, so that works. Missile command we saw. That works at 2003. Okay, so just can't get out yet. Okay, so that's fine. And Star Wars, what's that one on? (2003). Will that one work? And that works as well. So we have all our ROMs loaded into the folder for the arcade. So we say we just try again. I haven't played this one yet. You'll see that it's loading at LRM main 2003. So that's the main set that it works for that whole list. So if it doesn't load up straight away for this, for what we did, then I'll show you. When we load in the game, when it gets to this stage, we wiggle to get to that, and we can say select default. We make this to be the main 2003 as default. So then we'll just make all the games in an arcade folder or use that emulator. But when you try a game for some reason it doesn't work, then you can do the wiggle and come into that and set a different emulator and to try them out. And if you don't have any of these, then you'll need to go and add it in another place. Let's just exit. So let's exit, and if you don't have those particular MAME emulators, MAME, then we go to Retropie setup. We'll add the MAME, manage our packages. We go to, I think, optional, and then we have these MAMEs that's there that you can then install. So you can see that there's Atari, which I don't have any Atari games. This one installed by Daphne. Right, so you can see here, these are the ones that I think I installed 2010. We will go and exit out of this, and if you have installed anything, then I would recommend you do a reboot. But for me, I'll just exit and back. So there we have the MAME emulators installation part. Is a quick summary of all the things we just went through, and then we have one last step. We can go to our ROM, MAME Libra. These are all the trackball games, so it's all grouped into this folder here, and then all the spinner games will be all put over to the arcade folder. Here we go for the last part. So we just need to go to the RetroArch to set up the hotkey, and once we have the RetroArch hotkey set up, then we can go to the games that we are set up earlier, and we play one of them and we can enter into the RetroArch. This is where you like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments that you like to learn how to do this as well. So let's, for example, go into, say, missile command. Using the hotkey that I had set up for the RetroArch, I'm able to go into the quick menu. This is where we would configure the controllers. So we need to go out of this bit, up, and then we go and settings, and then we have the input, and we go down to have the port 1 controller. So here we have our mouse index, which is a very important part, which is the barcode reader. When I select in here, you can see that at the moment I've got 3 mouses, or USB type device. I have the spinner, I have the trackball, and I also have this keyboard that's been plugged in with this trackball. So with the barcode reader, that would be the trackball. The USB keyboard is the keyboard, and then the PixArt Lenovo is the spinner. So as we are playing missile command, we'll need to have the barcode reader, which will be the trackball. Once that is set, we'll go out, and go to the second controller on the right, and then we have that set. The mouse index with the PixArt Lenovo mouse will be the spinner. Okay, so you see that. So let's exit out of that and exit out of the game. We only need to do this once, as it will work for all the games as well. Now let's go to the spinner Arcanoid. Let's remember that in a different folder in the arcade. Hotkey setting. So now we go to, jump out, go to settings, input, go to port 1, and then you can see that this mouse is set as the Lenovo, which is the spinner. Okay, so it's the spinner first. And then we go out, we go to the next port, which is this set. You can see the mouse here index is the barcode, which is the trackball. So you see a difference. Let's go out, exit out that setting. Let's just exit out the game. So the Arcanoid is in the arcade folder, and everything that is in that folder is capable of playing spinner games and not trackball game. Out, refresh everything inside this main folder. It's only the ROMs that I showed you earlier, the files on the computer, that the set is only for the trackball. Right, so that's how you do it. So the video was a bit longer than expected, but I hope that all makes sense. And of course, if there's any comments you'd like to make or things that's not very clear still, just put some comments, down below, and I hope I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as usual, thanks for watching.